Money isn't evil, it's opportunity. You just need to figure out how to use it. A recent study found that 63% of Americans live in paycheck to paycheck, and I know in this new year you want to do something different. So here are my 6 money making tips for this year that I recommend you capitalize on. Number 1 is utilizing leverage. You can put $100 a week in the S&P 500 at 8% compounding growth after inflation, and after 50 years you have $1.6 million. Simple. And at $200 a week it becomes $3.2 million. Literally any person in a first world country especially can do so without unreasonable circumstance. I don't care if you're working at McDonald's or in corporate law. But back in 2021, when I first started making content, this was the exact mindset I had. I know, stupid 18-year-old. But after listening to less personal finance gurus and more entrepreneurial, business-minded people, I understood the power of generating large income through business through the 4 key points of leverage, which are labor, capital, content, and code. And obviously marketing some sort of product behind that. Leverage is essentially putting as little amount of input in return for a large amount of output. Mr. Beast is a perfect example. He utilizes content to market his brand, and in return for making one video, hundreds of millions of people watch. That's powerful. Now for me, only a couple hundred people watch. So I need to grow my audience large enough to utilize this platform of leverage. Next is labor, and I've worked at McDonald's for just over 4 years now, and I know for a fact that a Big Mac costs around $6, and 1 hour of a 15-year-old's work is $8.50. Now that 15-year-old can easily make 100 Big Macs that hour, so he can generate $600 worth of value in return for only being provided with $8.50 worth of pay. So inputting $8.50 and getting $600 worth of value in return, that's a lot of leverage. Yes, you may have 10 to 20 employees in a store at a time, but also remember people are ordering drinks, chips, desserts on top of that. So lots of labor, lots of value through leverage. Okay, so what about capital? Why do you think hedge funds make so much money? Well, they get money input into their business. Let's say a rich person comes along and offers $100 million to invest in their hedge fund. They say, oh, we'll give you a 10% return, but we'll take a 2% fee every year. Rich person does this because it's a very stable and safe way of making money, proven over a long period of time. So, rich person makes $8 million, the hedge fund makes $2 million. But what we must remember is hedge funds manage billions and billions of dollars at a time, so they're making hundreds of million dollars every year. I don't know the exact number, but we look at BlackRock and Vanguard, they manage tens and hundreds of billions of dollars. Next is code. Very, very simple. ChatGPT has been taken off recently as the next AI mind and will replace all our jobs. I haven't tried this yet, but when I'm back in Australia, I write scripts for these videos. I'm reading off one right now. It may take me 4 hours to write a script, let's say, and I can go into the ChatGPT and ask, can you write me a script for 6 tips on how to make money for 2023? And in 10 seconds, it gives me a video. That saves an unbelievable amount of time. And I may want to edit the script slightly, so it may just take me 10 minutes at most. But it's better than the original 4 hours, so leverage is very, very powerful in this sense. Now for myself and you guys at home right now, we must learn how to generate a high income using these 4 key points of leverage. So let's expand on that. So number 2, high income equals greater wealth. Now let me break this down. Income is how much money you earn working each year. Trading time for money. Wealth is how much money you earn by owning assets, trading capital for more money. But in order to build that substantial amount of capital, we must learn how to generate a high income to then buy those assets and pay for our lifestyle. And this is because they confuse the doctor or lawyer working 60 plus hours a week, making 200 grand a year, but blowing on BMWs and fancy apartments. In comparison to the average worker who's retired at 50 because they did take upon their personal finances and now can retire comfortably making 40 to 50 grand a year just from dividends. Although I speak about pushing to own a business and level up your income, that doesn't mean it's incumbent on everyone to do so. People really do enjoy being teachers, police officers, nurses, and making a reasonable salary. But where this breaks down is people spend all their money to look rich through short-term gratification rather than long-term wealth creation. And if you're going to be that type of person now who's going to say, oh, why have all that money in your 50s if you can't enjoy your 20s? Firstly, you can spend $30 on a night out on activity and have just as much fun as you usually would spending heaps of money, if not more. In fact, you can always do it for free just by going to a mate's place. Secondly, this is a completely wrong mindset to have because if you're spending more than you earn consistently, not only will you never be rich in your life, but will never even look rich to anyone. Thirdly, these habits are controllable. You can always downgrade your lifestyle, but you place the opinion of others higher than your own financial health. Because a Gucci bag isn't tricking anyone, trust me. So at first, invest in skills that can elevate your income, then park that cash into assets that produce consistent cash flow so that even during recessions and market downturns, your actual income won't change, only the price of the asset itself. Number 3 is to play your game. You may be like me who isn't particularly skilled at real estate. Trust me, I suck. I haven't done enough research to even touch it. You may be really skilled with stocks and being able to identify what their mode is, the opportunities in the market, what their financial health is for the company. I picked some stocks myself. I really enjoy looking into tech companies and their future implications on the market. A lot of people are really skilled with cryptocurrency. Again, I love future technology, so I love crypto. Now, you may choose any form of money-making avenue, but you have to play your game. I believe it was Dave Ramsey, it may have been Kevin O'Leary, but he looked over Graham Stephan's portfolio, the guy who's a YouTube guru for personal finance. And he asked Graham, why is 80% of your portfolio in real estate? Graham replied saying, oh, I want to diversify into stocks and crypto as well, but Dave stopped him and said, is 80% of your knowledge in real estate? Graham said, well, yes. And Dave replied, perfect. So, invest what you're comfortable in. If you have the skill set to scale up a business, why care about the bond market? It's not your game, so don't even worry. Focus on what you're good at. Number 4 is do something. I've got a friend who's talked to me personally about being a bit lost in life, struggling with university and all the assignments, also hating their part-time job, and have no clear direction in their life. He's 20 years old and I asked him, what do you love? He replied, fitness. I said, okay, cool. We live in a world where you can monetize literally anything. Khaby Lame literally shrugs his shoulders at videos as the most followed person on TikTok. So go out there, post each meal you have, all the calories you're eating, break down the macronutrients. Why you have a low carb diet? What's your favorite workout? What was your favorite sport growing up? Did you do the physical education subject in school? I'm literally throwing concepts out there because there's limitless content ideas out there in the marketplace. You just need to push and find out what works for you. Now, this all sounds really cool in theory, but you need to break through that barrier of fear of putting yourself out there. Maybe even get scrutinized a bit like I've been online, but just sit there unfazed and keep working. Gathering the courage to put yourself out there through content about something you love is one of the bravest things you can do, and I admire anyone who does so. The fear and the thought that no one's going to watch my videos, I look stupid on camera, are real, and it probably pushed me away from starting content earlier myself, but I don't want to wake up at 35 and realize that my dream had quietly faded over the years. That is why you need to make the most of now. And if you are 35 watching this video, then you don't want to sit there at 50 and regret taking that leap of faith. Number 5 is to take risk. This is really targeted towards the 18 to 25 age bracket, but go out there and start a business. Go invest in crypto if you have enough knowledge on it. Make content for a year and realize it wasn't for you. The best thing about this age is that you have time. Turn off the PS5, log out of Netflix, piss off the excessive drinking and partying, and just focus on you. The skills you learn this stage are with you for the rest of your life, the same as the regret you feel if you wasted this time unproductively. I spoke about the friend who does fitness. He can go out there and post for a year all the workouts and meal plans he does and realize he doesn't like it. It's okay not to enjoy something, but at least it's a cool story. It's the effort you put in that people appreciate. You can show your grandkids the videos and say, oh, this is what your silly granddad did back in the day. It's a funny story. Who knows, maybe a potential employer picks up the videos, notices it, notices the effort and picks you over another candidate. We don't know where these things lead us, maybe even nothing. But we'll be left questioning if we did nothing and watched TV all day. Number 6 is to track all your spending. Now, I grew up in a household where this came naturally to me because I was taught to save all my money and be reasonably frugal. In fact, I'd been working at McDonald's for nearly 2 years, and it wasn't until I was around 17 or something that I first got my debit card and could spend money myself. In fact, the first time I went to go shopping, I went to buy iced coffee and I didn't know how to use tap and go. Most embarrassing I actually did was I watched a YouTube video on how to tap and go a card, but that's besides the point. To get over that story. Anyway, I learned this trick from Alex Hormozi, and the first thing you should do every single morning is to open up your bank account and look at the number on the screen. It may be higher or lower than the day before, that's besides the point. It's embedding that habit in your mind to take notice of your spendings, whether you need to get rid of a subscription, whether you need to reduce your spendings on takeaway, or just take notice of how much money is coming in. If you're only getting paid once a fortnight, maybe this will even piss you off to start making more consistent income, whether it's affiliate marketing, starting a dropship business, I don't care what it is, this habit will be embedded in your mind and you'll start taking notice of how your money is being tracked, and maybe you'll think twice about spending $1,000 on this item of clothing. And then the worst part is when all of a sudden you're wondering where your money went, you can actually look back and be like, oh, this is where I spent this is where I spent that, this is where money came in, and take control of your spendings. Anyway, if this video provides some value to you at all, leave a like and subscribe down below. Maybe you have a group of friends who want to get off to a better start financially in 2023, so share this video with them. I hope you enjoyed, guys. Follow my socials, I upload more there, and heading out.